My name is Lars and I'm CEO of FibriCheck. We do device-agnostic cardiovascular diagnostics. I like a quote, "A burden not shared is a burden not felt." We were too late to help my grandfather who died from a lethal stroke due to atrial fibrillation. We were too late to help my grandmother who developed late-stage heart failure due to atrial fibrillation. We were just in time to save my father from a second stroke caused by unknown atrial fibrillation, and we were right on time to help the 1.2 million people that are currently our user base. The problem of atrial fibrillation is that it is a heart rhythm disorder that is intermittent and can be asymptomatic. If you have symptoms, it's not always related due to the heart rhythm problem, and there are a lot of diagnostics out there, but they yield in a very low diagnostic yield. 80% is negative. If undetected and untreated, you have a threefold increase in mortality. 30% of AFib patients develop heart failure, and of all the strokes, 20% of them have atrial fibrillation. Why is this relevant to you? It's because the statistics are against you. 1 out of 4 above the age of 40 will develop atrial fibrillation in their lifetime. How is that detected? Well, fortunately, there's an entire industry out there that is specialized technology to help you with that. They require ECG or electrocardiographic recordings, and they are big, versatile machines to wearable patches. They've made them smaller, more tangible, portable device that you can put in your pockets, but still, you are depending on a device. They even have those wearable devices with optical sensing capabilities to do some more tracking. But if you look at the small letters, there are a lot of ifs and thens linked to that don't lead to clinical decision making. And that's where FibriCheck comes into play, that we provide a unique product positioning into this existing market, where we provide a device-agnostic or device-independent approach that utilizes existing devices with the patients, bring your own device strategy that delivers clinical-grade accuracy to detection and management of atrial fibrillation. So how does the FibriCheck system look like? You have a product that you have in the hands of the user or patient. This can be a wearable, a ring, an earplug. This can be your smartphone. And just for reference, there are more smartphones in the world than there are toothbrushes and toilets. That means that it's very well penetrated in the entire population and therefore very accessible. A keyword, accessibility. The technology used on a smartphone is you just put your finger on the camera, it takes a reading for 1 minute, and then that data is sent to a medical AI platform that performs a heart rhythm analysis, and that model has been trained on more than 1 million data sets from over 100,000 users and gets state-of-the-art performance with 99% accuracy. And that, of course, makes them visible to healthcare professionals to interpret the information and take clinical decisions where needed. So there's an actionable portal that drives clinical decision-making. This means that the product that we have developed and on the market right now is providing all the bells and whistles needed to have a useful digital health tool for both patients, users, and physicians. We are unlocking global regulatory market access with European and Middle Eastern approvals that are already in place, Australia, Singapore, and India as well. We have 4 US and global patents approved as we speak. Real-world accuracy demonstrated around 99%, and more than 70 peer-reviewed publications about our technologies, with also more than 20 external clinical trials ongoing utilizing our technology. How do we market this today? We do this through 3 different business models that work in synergy with each other. We have a model towards healthcare providers, a model towards partners, and we have a model towards end users. They generate today 160K MRR revenue for us with 450K additional secondary revenue streams. We have more than 30,000 monthly active users on our system and have compiled a huge database of more than 15 million annotated data sets that we use to train our AI towards future developments. Zooming in on the healthcare provider model, how does this look like? Very simple. As a physician, I prescribe the application to my patient, and I monitor and manage my patient remotely. We do this in a hospital license model, approximately 20 to 25K ARR per customer. After 3 years, we have 0% churn on those customers. We have a 30% growth per account that we see because they diversified deployment of our technology. We've monitored more than 20,000 patients last year, which was 50% more than the year before. More than 500,000 monitoring days applied. Average age of a patient is 65. 96% activates on the first touch, so there's no technology averseness or barrier. And we see that the compliance is more than they ask for. It's 145% that people are actually using the system. Second model is what we provide to partners. Partners are insurance providers, wearable providers, or remote patient monitoring platforms where they distribute our technology to their customers. They can do this with our standalone product or utilize the building blocks that we have, the SDK and API, to integrate that into their ecosystem. Model went live last year, currently 10 active integrations ongoing, and the deal size per customer varies between 25 to 120,000 ARR per customer. The last model, and that's a very relevant one, is the end user model. It's where we disclose our technology to the end user, and they're in control. They take a subscription fee on our products, and the main indications why an end user purchases FibriCheck today, it's because they had a previous treatment for their atrial fibrillation, they feel symptoms, or they had a family burden of the condition. There we are in the sweet spot, 64 years of age, and we see that the long-term value of the lifetime value of a customer versus the customer acquisition cost ratio is 2 to 1. So this model pays for itself, but more interestingly, this generates a wealth of information for us to continue our R&D innovation cycle. What we see is when we deploy this into the market, and it doesn't matter which care pathway we deploy this in, so far we've deployed it in more than 20 different clinical pathways, we see instant cost savings from day one. This goes from reduction in healthcare utilization, increased diagnostic yields, reduction in nurse time, reduction in bed stays, a lot of very nice cost effectiveness and health economics data that we are observing. Where does this fit into the market? If you look at the cardiac arrhythmia market, there are different areas ranging from palpitations to at-risk populations to diagnosed populations, but more than interestingly is that less than 10% of this market actually gets serviced. So there's a direct entry for us potential in this market without being competitive and actually very nice synergetically to the other players in that market. But of course, our ambitions are bigger. What is beyond arrhythmias? What if we can expand to other cardiovascular opportunities and therefore expand our market potential? So then the question is, how do you get there? And just like Tesla is using the video streams of their cars to train their AI, we are utilizing the data generated by our users to train our AI. So what can we do beyond atrial fibrillation? Can we do hypertension? Can we do heart failure? Can we do valvular or vascular disease? Can we predict arrhythmia onsets? Well, that is actually the work that we currently do based on the data, and the first results are looking promising. Today, we have a team that gets things done. So we're now at 24 people within a focus on Medtech and electrophysiology, and we're expanding our activities beyond Europe. The way that we see the way forward to FibriCheck is that today we're hitting 3 milestones. The first one is getting 100K AMRR in Europe and Australia. Second one is outperform ECG state-of-the-art devices. And the third one is to unlock the US market access. The next step we're getting into is raising 8 million. That will be done for later this year to have 18 months of runway, to have 3 new milestones. One is to scale in Europe and Australia beyond the 300K MRR. Secondly is we want to validate the business model we have in Europe in the United States. And thirdly is to demonstrate our health economic benefits from Europe and translate them to the United States. Thank you.